What is intermittent fasting and does it help with weight loss? During intermittent fasting, one completely or partially abstains from food for a period before eating normally again. Research suggests that intermittent fasting may have several beneficial effects, including weight loss, improved health, and a longer lifespan. Research suggests intermittent fasting may provide benefits such as weight loss, improved health, and longer life. This type of eating is characterized by abstaining from food for a certain period of time before eating normally again. Intermittent fasting advocates believe that it is simpler to stick to than typical calorie-controlled diets. Each person's intermittent fasting experience is unique, and different techniques will suit different people. Different ways to observe intermittent fasting. People have diverse preferences when it comes to intermittent fasting approaches. Continue reading to learn about 7 alternative ways to practice intermittent fasting along with its popularity, its benefits, its schedule along with advice on sticking to such a diet, mainly for weight loss. Fasting for 12 hours a day. The diet's guidelines are straightforward. Every day, a person must choose and follow a 12-hour fasting window. Some experts say that intermittent fasting for 10 to 16 hours promotes weight loss since the body is converting fat stores into energy, releasing ketones into the bloodstream. This form of intermittent fasting regimen may be a decent alternative for novices. This is due to the limited fasting window, the majority of the fasting occurring during sleep, and the person being able to consume the same number of calories each day. The simplest way to complete the 12-hour fast is to include the time spent sleeping in the fasting window. A person could, for example, choose to fast between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. They'd have to finish their dinner by 7 p.m. and wait until 7 a.m. to eat breakfast, but they'd be sleeping for much of the time in between. A 16-hour fast. The 16-to-8 technique, often known as the lean gains diet, involves fasting for 16 hours a day and eating for 8 hours. Men fast for 16 hours per day on the 16-to-8 diet, while women fast for 14 hours. This sort of intermittent fasting may be beneficial for someone who has attempted the 12-hour fast but did not observe any results. On this fast, people often finish their evening meal by 8 p.m., miss breakfast the next day, and do not eat again until noon. A study on mice discovered that restricting the eating window to 8 hours protected them from obesity, inflammation, diabetes, and liver disease, even though they consumed the same total number of calories as mice who ate whenever they pleased. Fasting twice a week. People who follow the 5-to-2 diet normally eat for 5 days and then cut back on calories for the other 2 days. Men typically ingest 600 calories and women 500 calories during the 2 fasting days. People usually separate their fasting days throughout their week. They may, for example, fast on Mondays and Thursdays and eat regularly on the other days. Between fasting days, there should be at least one non-fasting day. There has been little research on the 5-to-2 diet, often known as the fast diet. A study of 107 overweight or obese women indicated that calorie restriction twice weekly and continuous calorie restriction both resulted in equivalent weight loss. The diet also decreased insulin levels and enhanced insulin sensitivity in the subjects, according to the study. A small-scale investigation. The effects of this fasting strategy were studied in 23 overweight women by trusted source. The women dropped 4.8% of their overall weight and 8.0% of their total body fat in one menstrual cycle. However, after 5 days of normal diet, most of the women's measures returned to normal. Alternate day fasting. The alternate day fasting strategy, which entails fasting every other day, has various versions. Some people believe that alternate day fasting requires complete abstinence from solid foods on fasting days, while others allow up to 500 calories. People frequently opt to eat as much as they want on feeding days. According to one study, alternate day fasting is good for weight loss and heart health in both healthy and overweight persons. Alternate day fasting is an extreme form of intermittent fasting that may not be appropriate for novices or those suffering from certain medical issues. Meal skipping. This adaptable method to intermittent fasting may be beneficial to beginners. It entails missing meals on occasion. People can choose which meals to miss based on their hunger level or time constraints. However, it is critical to eat nutritious foods at each meal. Meal skipping is most likely to be successful when people monitor and respond to their body's hunger cues. People who follow this method of intermittent fasting will eat when they are hungry and skip meals when they are not. This may feel more natural for some people than the other fasting strategies. A weekly 24-hour fast. Fasting entirely for 1 or 2 days per week, often known as the eat-stop-eat diet, entails not eating for 24 hours at a time. Many people fast from one meal to the next, such as breakfast to lunch. People on this diet plan can drink water, tea, and other calorie-free beverages during fasting time. On non-fasting days, people should resume their normal eating habits. Eating in this manner reduces a person's total calorie consumption but does not restrict the specific items consumed. A 24-hour fast can be difficult, causing weariness, headaches, and irritation. Many people find that when their bodies acclimate to this new eating pattern, the symptoms become less severe. The warrior diet. The warrior diet is an extreme version of intermittent fasting. The warrior diet is fasting for 20 hours, eating only a few servings of raw fruit and vegetables, and then eating one huge meal at night. The dining window is usually only 4 hours long. This method of fasting may be best for persons who have already tried other types of intermittent fasting. The warrior diet advocates argue that humans are natural nocturnal eaters and that eating at night allows the body to gain nutrients in accordance with its circadian rhythms. People should consume plenty of veggies, proteins, and healthy fats during the 4-hour meal period. They should also contain carbs. Although it is permissible to eat some things throughout the fasting period, it can be difficult to follow the rigorous instructions on when and what to eat in the long run. Furthermore, some people struggle with eating such a heavy dinner so close to bedtime.